Hey, everybody, this is Jason. Let me get back in camera. And since a lot of you all don't really know Matt, but Matt will come on the show or channel from time to time, I wanted to ask him a few questions about how he got into the hobby. You've all seen my videos. I actually did a response video about a month ago about how I got into collecting in general. So I'm not really going to talk about me unless Matt asks me a question. Of course, that's fine. But I'm going to ask more about him. So I met Matt through Facebook. Mm-hmm. We became friends because we joined some of the same Facebook groups. Mm-hmm. And through conversation, I think I might have posted like, anybody else live in Indiana in here? Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, I do. And then he happens to be about 45 minutes mm-hmm. away, roughly. So we've been getting together and hanging out probably for going on almost a year, I guess now. Close to it, 6, 7, 8 months, something. Mm-hmm. And the first time we met up was, I said hooked up, but that sounds weird. I know that this is 2018, but it's not necessarily. That is true. That's not what this is about. That's not that kind of channel. The first time we met up was at a Starbucks. It was like
right, yeah.
And mm-hmm. I'll never forget, him and I both get together, and we bring all these huge monster boxes mm-hmm. into Starbucks, and guess what? We did get coffee there. They didn't kick us out, so we got to use their bathroom.
Oh, yeah, that was
It was okay. The cops were not involved in this.
It was a really nice bathroom.
It was really nice. And we left our cards there, and everything was fine. Like, no one, touched our stuff.
Yeah.
It was good. Mm-hmm. But anyways, and we just kind of built a friendship through trading that way. And so we hang out maybe once or twice a month, depending on the schedules and all that. So I've never really asked him this question, so I thought this would be a good time to just kind of get 5 or 6 minutes, whatever. I've just asked him a few quick questions. Matt's from California, correct? From sunny California?
Yes.
From sunny California. And so Southern California is Sacramento, right?
Right.
So Matt's from California, and so the first question I was going to ask you is that we're around the same age, so you grew up during the junk era, mostly?
Yes. Yeah.
So how did you get into collecting? You have a brother also?
Yeah.
So was this something you did together with your dad? Is something you and him got into it together? Or is it something that organically happened? So kind of talk about that.
Not really with my dad. Well, actually, the first time I remember, I was at a garage sale. My dad always loved going to garage sales, mm-hmm. and he'd take me and my brother. And there was these 5 1985 Donruss, like the jumbo cards, mm-hmm. which I still have, but they're in like awful condition now. And so that was my first purchase. And I remember it was a couple years later.
What year was that? Do you think?
85.
85. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was that year. So. Couple years later, 87 Tops I was trying to build that set. That was the first time I actually bought packs, and so to me, my brother and I would trade, and we had a baseball card store that was close by. We would ride our bikes down there.
Do you remember the name of the shop?
Home Plate.
Home Plate. And where?
Lakewood, California.
Lakewood, California. Is it still there?
No.
Okay.
They ended up moving to Cerritos. I don't know if they're still in business or not, but eBay really killed their business.
As probably most local car shops have succumbed to eBay.
Right. So, but I have collected off and on during the years. So when my brother and we would collect together maybe until like my sophomore, junior year in school, and then when I started working, I didn't collect anymore for a long time. So there was a few years ago, probably like 10 years ago, I wanted to get into my own business. So I said, well, I know cards, there's got to be a way to make money selling cards on eBay, and there's really not. There is no way.
Unless your name is Tracy and you own 4 Sharp Corners in Greenfield, Indiana, which apparently he sells like hundreds, sometimes $1,000 a day on his eBay.
Oh, yeah.
And he owns his own card shop, but I mean, he has the product.
Well, he's been in business for a long time.
Like 30 plus years, so that's what happens.
Yeah, but no, it didn't work out for me. I had a job. It wasn't a big deal or a big investment, but I remember one time it was Roy Halladay. He was having a good year, and I wanted his rookie card, 97 Bowman Chrome. So I ended up bidding on it, and I got frustrated because I kept getting outbid. And the way that I bid is I look at the lowest that it had sold for before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, say, $25. So I would bid $25 on every listing, and I'd get outbid, and then I'd go to the next listing. Well, I got so frustrated that anything out there, I just bid $25. And I won 7 times.
Dang.
It was all from the same seller, so at least I got combined shipping, but I ended up spending more than $100 on these Roy Halladay rookies, which he retired right after this. And so I still have them, and that was why I stopped trying to do my own business. So you're prospecting a little bit, and yes. It backfired. So now what I do is I have a limit on how much I'm going to spend, which is I'm like way over, by the way. But I try to keep it to $5 a week, and I just say, I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not trying to make money. If I do make money, that's fine, but that's not the goal of this. So I don't do prospecting. I don't do box breaks of anything new. I mainly collect Hall of Famers, especially rookie cards. So when you say junk era, I think it's really cool that I can get a Hall of Fame rookie card for less than $5.
For sure. So what are like your, not to cut you off because we continue, but what are like you say your top 5 Hall of Famers that you collect or that you try to expand your collection of, like your personal collection? Because I've never seen your actual collection because I've never been to your house because he's like a family man and has kids, and so he hangs out over here, we meet. So I don't know what all your personal collection actually consists of. I've only seen what you want to trade. So what would be your 5 top players that you really try to strive for? I've heard us talk about it because we've worked out trades, but when you go to like Tracy's or you're online at Listia or eBay, what are your 5 top Hall of Famers you're trying to like add to?
For sure, Griffey.
Okay.
I don't know if there's actually 5, but...
Oh yeah, just however many like your main guys.
Yeah, I mean... Right, I think Chipper Jones, for some reason, I really like him. Jeter, of course. Yeah. Nolan Ryan.
That's 4, so you're getting close to 5.
I don't know, Vladimir Guerrero.
Okay, yeah, Vladimir. That's 2 out of what 4 they got put in the Hall of Fame this year. Are 2 guys you like, right?
I really like Clayton Kershaw, even though he's not in the Hall.
But he'll be there.
Most likely, as long as they don't find out that he was juicing. Then
sure, oh God, I hope not.
Yeah, that would.
Do you think that's an actual possibility?
Oh no,
not Kershaw.
But would you have thought about it for A-Rod back in the day?
I think probably at the time I wouldn't have thought of A-Rod.
Yeah,
because he always kind of looked.
He wasn't like really, really buff.
He always had like a muscular build. But he never looked like Barry Bonds or Mark McGwire. You know what I'm saying? He always had like a healthy build.
Yeah.
And so I never would think that. And he never got crazy big, at least not in my eyes.
Yeah.
But if you take his like rookie card from like 1994 Mariners and you put it up to like 2002 A-Rod, you probably would see a stark difference maybe. But I felt like he was always a little bit under the radar while those guys were playing.
Yeah.
After they kind of retired and they whatnot, he kind of like took off.
So when the whole thing with Jose Canseco and the steroids came out, I didn't collect it all for a long time. And when I started getting back into it, that's why I focused more on Hall of Famers. But there's still like I've seen that they've said some people that are in the Hall of Fame have still been rumored to have used steroids. Now, would you collect those guys? I still do because it hasn't been proven, but like... So let's say if Ivan Rodriguez, Jeff Bagwell, Pedro Martinez I've seen. So you would do that? Mike Piazza. I still collect them. Now, what about his Mark McGwire? Like, if he gets... We all know he did it, obviously. Roger Clemens, obviously, Bonds. Those 3 guys, people will argue should be in the Hall of Fame. If they, that they did it, so they've admitted to it, or the evidence is there, regardless if they want to admit to it. Case in point, Bonds. Would you still collect those guys too? Or I don't know. I don't know. I've thought about that. If Bonds gets elected into the Hall of Fame as a we know that he used steroids. I don't know if I would collect him or not. I would probably stop collecting for a while until I figured it out.
You're like having to round up all the horses again or whatever, and be like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, because now it's like, okay, so who am I collecting anymore? Do I just collect Hall of Famers that we know for sure haven't juiced? And how do you know that? And I don't know. I think
I'll probably lose a lot of respect, honestly.
Yeah, I would too. If Bonds and Clemens get into the Hall of Fame, it wouldn't mean as much to me. I don't think.
Because I mean, if you're going to keep Pete Rose out for cheating, but you're going to let them in, to me, that's
right.
That's higher. That's being hypocritical.
Let shoeless Joe Jackson in.
Right. I mean, at this point, because I honestly, those guys cheated or were accused of cheating, like in shoeless Joe Jackson's case. They weren't in there. I know a lot of people make arguments of a lot of the 70s and 80s guys that were Hall of Famers were, into coke and smoking weed and all this stuff. But guess what? That wasn't enhancing their ability on the field. If anything, it was
making it worse.
It was making it worse, and they were still great at that level. That says a lot about their ability more than anything. Whether guys' abilities were average, maybe above average, and great, and then taking those drugs were pushing them even to the next level higher. To me, I would probably question the ability of the Hall of Fame to really make proper choices because they're saying, anybody who has good numbers, no matter how they got those numbers, deserve to get in. And I would go back and say, well, then Rose should be in, Jackson should be in. And then, because then it doesn't really matter anymore.
Right, exactly.
To me,
if it's just about statistics, then I can just go and say, by whoever has the most home runs and just run down a list. And by the way, Dave Kingman, who nobody really knows of, should be on that list because he had a pretty low batting average, but hit a lot of home runs. So he's hit more than 400 home runs, but was never a Hall of Fame case.
Right. And I would say that Ichiro's hits in Japan should count.
Oh, yeah. Why not? The minor leagues, too.
Yeah, right. And Sena Haruo, who had the most home runs ever by a baseball player, but all in Japan.
Oh, so, yeah.
Yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Does he have more still than Bonds?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
He has 800.
He has 800 something, right. So if we're just talking about just numbers purely, and you might say, well, those that, Japan's does like quadruple A, well, they didn't cheat. And it's one level below MLB, but these guys were cheating, and we don't know how much of that was not true ability and how much of it was true ability. So now it's all up in the air. So to me, the argument kind of becomes weak to be like, well, we're going to let anybody in based on statistics. So we don't really care. So I know we kind of derailed this a little bit about your collecting or whatnot and kind of got you into the hobby. But before we get off here, what would you say is what would you say is your most prized possessions that you own, that your personal collection, that if you were to get out of the hobby, like you said, or take a break and you sold off most of your collection, or you just kind of threw it in a back in your closet, which cards would you keep, or sets, or whatever would you say, these things are making me happy about being a collector?
Well, right now I have an 89 Topps traded Griffey PSA 10.
Wow, that is nice.
I'd probably keep that one. I used to have an 89 Upper Deck Griffey, but I don't have that anymore.
Did you sell it?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
He needed to get that smack.
And probably, I don't think I really have an old Nolan Ryan, but I would keep some of his stuff.
And what would you say is one card that you really want that you don't have? Like a pretty big card, not just like
93 SP Derek Jeter.
I wonder who has some of those possibly.
Of course, 89 Upper Deck Griffey.
89 Upper Deck Griffey is pretty attainable though.
Yeah, I haven't really spent money on it.
Right,
but you can get it for less than $10.
Yeah, as I say, you get a raw in probably great condition, probably even extra minutes.
You can't really get a Jeter for less than 50 or so on eBay.
On what, the SPX or whatever it is? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true.
Honestly, or the 52 Mantle, there's no way. I mean, PSA 2s sell for thousands of dollars.
Right. Well, that one Mantle, what sold for just what was it, like $3 million or 2-point-something million? That one Mantle that was a grade 8.
It was a 9 for $3 million. I thought. Okay. But I don't know.
But yeah, for me, I would just say, I'll end the video here just 1 second because I don't want to go over 15 minutes. Is that probably one of the top cards that I would like to get in my collection would be a Nolan Ryan rookie card.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Because they're already astronomical, and
Yeah.
let's just be honest, when Nolan Ryan's no longer with us, it's going to even be way more.
Yeah.
And I mean,
but you're prospecting. They're prospecting.
well, I'm just saying, like, you just know you can't even afford it now.
Yeah.
When he passes, it's just going to be even more. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying try to get like 10 of them right now because when he died, you want to like cash in.
That's true.
I'm just saying, like,
You
they're
can
already
still
so
keep
high.
it.
You can keep
You
it.
can still keep it.
I mean, like, if anything, my son will hopefully take the cards one day and do something with them, you know, make a better life for himself, or hope he doesn't put them in a pile and burn them.
Yeah. I've thought about that, like what to leave my kids, because I just have,
excuse me.
if I were to get rid of everything, I would still just keep my box of the cards that are in
Your
top
highlights,
loaders.
right, yeah.
Because those are all the Hall of Famers and some rookies and stuff.
Now, does your sons have any interest in baseball or collecting in general?
No.
Which is
They
my
don't
son.
care.
Yeah.
They don't
He
care
has
at
probably
all.
like at 100%, he's at like maybe 30% of interest. And most of his interest comes from anything major, cool thing, like a through the mail autograph or like a favorite player of his. So I hear you, man. It kind of sucks this generation has zero interest. They rather play Fortnite or whatever video games are on, right?
And you know what I was thinking? When we used to get packs for $1 a piece, you can't.
That's true.
When you go to Target, I mean, or Walmart, they're $2. That's the cheapest pack that I've seen.
Yeah, they used to have those like dollar packs, I think, for like opening day and things, but I don't know if they still do that as much.
I saw
But
some
even
of
then, like time the kids, I mean, you know, they see the videos now. They see the big hits, and you get an opening pack video. You know, you get like a box of opening day, which is like let's say $15, or you buy 2 or 3 packs for $1 a piece. Their hits are like the mascots on the teams, and they're just like, okay.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
want an autograph. They want some kind of cool, you know, refractor or something, a numbered card. I mean, you know, whatever. So
yeah, to me though, it wasn't about like when I started. It wasn't about that. It was about either trying to put together a set or you're trying to collect your favorite player.
right.
It was, you know. And when Upper Deck came out in '89, they were pushing the envelope on just charging 99 cents a pack. You know, I mean, think about that now. That I went to the dollar store and I saw dollar packs there, and I was like, "That's still too much." You know,
It's too much. Right, I'm not going to do it.
Considering if I'm going to pay $1, I'm going to go on eBay and get like a Hall of Famer, you know, third or fourth year card.
Mm-hmm.
Even something in like the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, I'd much rather have that than a 2018 whatever.
Right.
I don't even know any of these guys,
Sure.
what they can do. So anyway,
All right, guys. Well, it's already 18 minutes. It might have already crapped out on us if it hasn't. Thank you very much for watching us talk a little bit about our passions and it's fun, hobby collecting. Keep on subscribing, liking, and commenting. Take care and have a good rest of your day. Deuces.